Chris Bebel here again. I'm a former SEC lawyer. I'm a former assistant U.S. attorney, that is a former federal prosecutor, where I concentrated primarily on securities fraud cases and other white-collar offenses. And I've handled securities fraud cases situated throughout the country. Now, the lesson for today will focus on unauthorized trading and the follow-up measures which are taken by the offending broker, wherein he sometimes gives people the hard sell in order to protect himself. Now, let's step back and look at this piece by piece and figure out how this all fits together. First of all, many brokers are under tremendous pressure financially. They have to generate commissions. And they do that by making trades in customer accounts. And it's fair to say that, generally speaking, most of the brokers who are under the most intense financial pressure are the brokers, the younger brokers, the less experienced brokers who have not built up a big book of business, so to speak. Now, based on my experience in the securities fraud area, which spans for over 30 years, I've seen that many brokers have a good sense of which customers are the most vulnerable, which are the most docile, and which are the most likely to speak up and assert their rights if questionable events occur. One other point. Let's go through one more point while we're setting the background. Did you know that over 600,000 registered stockbrokers exist in the United States? More than 600,000. So, it's clear that even if a mere 1% of those brokers are bad apples, we're still dealing with a lot of bad apples. But in all fairness, I need to say that the majority of those 600,000 brokers are decent, forthright people who are there to look out for the interests of their customers. But nonetheless, bad apples exist. And on a pragmatic level, it's clear that too many bad apples exist. Now, let's take a step back. Let's look at the totality of the circumstances and let's view them in a common sense light. Occasionally, stockbrokers will find themselves in a financial jam. They need to generate revenue. Trades and customer accounts must take place. So, the most brazen brokers will sometimes affect unauthorized trades in customers' accounts. They'll just go ahead and buy a stock in a customer's account without speaking with the customer. And keep in mind, it's essential in most situations for the broker to speak with the customer. But nonetheless, some brokers will just go ahead and effect a trade. It's called unauthorized trading. And if the customer quibbles, speaks up, asks questions, the brokers then put on the hard sell. They go to great lengths to tell the customer that this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. You really need this stock. And they do that in order to pacify the customer. Now, if you've been exposed to these dynamics, if you've been exposed to facts of this nature, you might just be a victim of unauthorized trading. Give me a call, 903-843-5678, or just go to my website, chrisbebel.com.